Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 25% Podcast. You guys know what it's about. Again, I'd rather have 25% of something than 100% of nothing. You know, I want you guys to click like, click share, tell a friend, tell your parents, tell your cousin, tell your uncles, tell your spouses, tell your boyfriend, tell your girlfriend, tell a neighbor. You know what I mean? Tell your sneak link. But tell them. Tell someone along the way to click like, click share, and subscribe. And follow. Leave a comment also. We really appreciate it. You know, today I have a special guest. He's one of my close friends. He's decided as I done pulled his leg and begged him to come on the show with me and, you know, give you guys some good tips. He's into real estate business. He's very knowledgeable. I've learned a lot of tips from him. Very great guy. Awesome customer service. He is amazing. And without further ado, we have the amazing Kyle Stevens.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. I don't know if you begged as much as I said, hey, let me come on. And Thomas was great getting me on here.
Yes.
So super excited. This is actually my first podcast.
Very first?
Yeah, first one on.
You know what? The beauty part about it is it's good that you get to break the ice with me.
Yes, because you're definitely easy to talk to.
Easy. And I'm easy on the eyes. That's also a plus.
There you go.
Yes. But the thing about it, Scott, tell them a little bit about yourself and tell them how anyone that's listening can contact you if they need your services also as well.
So like Donald said, I'm a real estate agent and I'm with Atlanta Fine Homes, Sotheby's International Realty. And funny enough, we have to use that entire 6 words. We can't just say Atlanta Fine Homes. There's actually a contract with Sotheby's International Realty that it has to be the full 6 words. So I'm with Atlanta Fine Homes, Sotheby's International Realty. Most of the work I do is in this area. I don't typically go into Atlanta. I have before, but I'm in downtown Woodstock. And I'm on social media, Kyle Stevens _realtor. And that's the best way to contact me, or reach out to Donald and he'll get you in touch with me.
Yes, I will get you in touch. So if you DM or contact me, Kyle is amazing. Kyle's a great guy. So Kyle, how long have you been doing real estate? I know we've had this personal conversation, but I try to, and I know, as you know, because as you clearly know, of your experience, I don't try to give questions beforehand because I want the truth. I want them to understand that we're coming here to give them the truth about business and tips and advice and motivation, and times the knowledge to know when to cut the cord and when to hang in there and when to keep swinging and what are the signs. So I want to know how was your first road? I know we shared that personally, but I want you to tell to them like how you came about to get into this industry and what made you do the change career path.
So lots of good questions. First question, I've been doing this. I consider this my 3rd year. My first year was kind of all over the place. Jumped from team to team, brokerage to brokerage. So by the time I was where I needed to be, it was November. And I was like, well, 11 months went by. I didn't really learn much. So I consider my first year kind of a wash. So 3 years, I guess technically you could say 4. What was I doing before real estate? I was working part-time at the outlet mall. I'm 24. I got my license when I was 20.
You're 24?
24. 25.
Oh my gosh, you're a baby.
I get that all the time.
Oh my gosh. And I've known you a couple of years now. So you're 24?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. So, question, Kyle. So you're 24 and you took this steadfast of entrepreneurship at such a young age. What gave you the courage to step out on faith? I don't know your spiritual belief, but what gave you the confidence and courage to go out and hunt for your own food? Because being a realtor, and especially in this Atlanta market, is very competitive.
Yeah. And like your book says, you eat what you kill.
You eat what you kill, and you kill nothing you don't eat. So what gave you that courage to go ahead and do that?
Faith. But I would say my now husband, at the time he was my boyfriend and then fiance, thank you. Having him push me and know and be able to say, hey, listen, you might not have a paycheck for X amount. Some agents it's 3 months, others it's 6, some it's a year. For him to be able to say, hey, listen, I've got us for X amount of time, do your thing, that gave me the confidence because, I was working part-time at the outlet mall in Woodstock, so it's not like I was making a crazy amount of money, but it was still, it took me 6 months to get my first paycheck. So just having the confidence of.
So what made you not give up?
Oh, God.
6 months ain't nothing light.
There were a lot of times I wanted to give up. The biggest thing was outside of faith. Again, my friends and family and, the people close to me saying, hey, listen, you've got this. It takes most agents 3 years to really build their book of business.
I did admire how fast you built your book of business. You're the second person that I know that built their book of business that fast. But I'm listening to some good stuff.
Well, thank you.
Because I want them to know, because, you got to understand, people that's listening, being a real estate agent is an entrepreneur job. Even though you're working under a broker doesn't mean that you don't run your own business. You build your own brand because you're building your brand for your clients to come to you and get your referrals. So I want to know, really, how did you hone in? It's like, this is what I'm going to do. Because when you got your first check, you don't mind us asking how much was your first check?
I couldn't even tell you. It was a couple grand. I mean, it was the biggest check I ever had.
But did you frame it? What did you do with it?
So I actually never received a paper check.
Oh, my God.
Everything was wired through either a wire request or ACH. So I have never received a first legitimate check. So I have nothing framed.
Nothing framed.
Nothing
okay.
framed.
You're going to have to get that stub framed.
I
Call
can.
them and get that stub framed. Because the thing about this is that you were determined.
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm not giving up. Even if when you wanted to, you still had that voice in the back of your head saying, keep going. Because no matter if your friends encourage you, and no matter if your partner was there to support you financially and support you emotionally and all the other support that it is to give, it still took you the will to still get up and go at it every day. Because it got to make sense to you.
Absolutely.
It has to make sense to you. And I tell people that all the time. And today, I think I ain't make no money probably today. And I spent more than I made. But you got to realize that clients pay me on retainers and pay me in advance. So it's billable hours that my clients are working through. Not my clients, my team is working on. So the thing is, I guess I did make something. But days like this when you don't, I like the money flowing every day. I want it flowing every day.
That's a huge thing. That's a good point. So as far as real estate goes, there is no key. You're not going to, you might have a paycheck every day, but in reality, I've gone 2-3 months without a paycheck, but then bam, I get 3 closings in a month, and it's next thing you know, I have a $30,000, $45,000 deposit in my bank account. Some agents, it's larger. So in terms of being an entrepreneur, and like you said, you didn't make any money today, you've really got to figure out a way to balance spending money while you're making money, because you don't want that well to dry up.
And you still, because it ain't as fast as you can't get it that fast. So the question is, what tips can you give future real estate agents that may even feel like, hey, I'm spending the money as soon as I get it? Because sometimes you have to play catch up.
Oh, yeah.
Because the check you get today is spent from yesterday.
Yep.
So what advice can you give them?
My biggest piece of advice, I would say, is don't compare yourself to other agents, because they're all in a different chapter of life. Whether they're the same age as you, they've had their license as long as you, there are subtle differences that make you different, your story different, your sphere different than Joe over here. So if you compare yourself to that other agent, which I did that a ton, and to be honest, I still do, you're always going to lose and you're always going to get defeated, and it's always going to be a case of, well, I'm not doing enough. So you're your own competitor. Are you better every day? Are you doing the things you need to do to get clients, retain clients, and be successful? And success is not necessarily monetary value.
Okay, but I'm going to rewind to some part of that when you say don't compare yourself to other agents. There is an agent that's young, like myself, where I'm a little bit seasoned, and I follow them on Instagram, and they posted on Instagram that they made $1 million, over $1 million in sales and on revenue, in commissions rather. And I compared, I was like, that should be me, like doing that, like just frequently having the fun and ball, and it looks. And honestly, that person works hard, but as a real estate agent, you get your license and you make $1 million in revenue. Some be looking like to make $200,000 and $300,000. To make $1 million, that's admirable. And just to be a single person doing it yourself, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
So I know everybody get caught up in that social media part, but as coming out guys and wanting to, get out into the real estate business, you will still be your own boss and you can work a couple years. So do you aspire to have your own brokerage firm?
That I don't know. Part of me is yes. The other part of me is no, because there's a lot of things now that I'm in the business that I realize go into owning your own brokerage. Marketing is huge. My company, thankfully, it's all company provided marketing. I mean, I do pay for it on the back end with every 3 months we have our agent dues. I don't know the answer to that question yet.
So you don't. So it's not a desire, but you can now since you've been for more than, I think it's 2 years.
So I'd have to get my broker's license, which you have to take a test. Me right now being an agent by myself, I don't know if getting my broker's license would add anything, because it's not like it's guaranteed more pay or something like that. It's just if my company were to come to me, I could be a broker, but that doesn't necessarily equate to owning your own brokerage. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So all right, so what's holding you back? Like, I don't want to say holding you back, but do you feel that the time, because there may be some people that have questions, and I'm asking questions for folks that's out there. Do you feel that that a real estate agent should give themselves 3 to 5 years or 6 years, a length of time before they become a broker? Or what do you think? Or do you think they should have a certain amount of capital before they become a broker? What advice and tips can you give? Because we have people that's listening that wants to start the business. I mean, I get views and I get comments. I appreciate my couple comments. It ain't many, but guess what? I'm so grateful and thankful.
We all start somewhere.
I promise you. Twice on Sundays.
There you go.
Yes. So I don't have a problem with it. And I've been doing this for a couple of months now and I'm having fun.
It is fun. I mean, I've been here 10 minutes and I'm loving this.
Yeah, so it's fun. And it's like, the thing is that I like to share knowledge. And I like to give people the knowledge to understand that business is, what people don't do is people makes the perception that business is automatically success. And I was talking to someone and it was like, everybody, like, you're trying to encourage everybody to be a business owner. That's not true. Everybody won't own their own business. Everybody might want to make extra money, but everybody doesn't want to own their own business. And everybody can't be a boss. Because when you're a boss, you have to make selfless decisions. You have to go out and fight for days that you don't want to fight for. Because it's like raising kids. It's like providing for your family. You have to make sure the business generates revenue so it can provide for others. And not only after it provide for provide for the business and provide for the team, the business expenses, then you get what's left over.
Yep.
It's like being a parent with 10 kids. I have to fix all y'all plates first, then I fix my spouse's place, and then I sit down and eat what's left. It's not easy. And people think being in your own business, like my business, like I was on the phone with someone today and she was like, "Oh, my parents think you're wealthy." You know what wealthy is? The definition of wealthy? It's like you don't have to move. Is my definition. I'm wealthy in, the blessings that God has provided me, material things. I'm wealthy in that way, in health and spiritual and stuff, because I have things that some people don't have. But financially wealthy, no.
Well, just like it's success, everybody views wealth and success differently. It's not necessarily how much money you have in your bank account. It could be, like you said, your health. Could be you have a wonderful relationship. It could be you have a job that you love. It's different for every person. So I agree. It's back to your point of people getting in the business, especially real estate, and thinking that they're just going to take off. It is, in my opinion, harder to be a real estate agent now than any other time because the market's so crazy. Mm-hmm. We're doing more work, at least double the work, and we're same amount of pay, which I'm totally fine with that. I love my job, but there's more work that goes into it, and so everybody's getting their license, which is obviously overinflating how many agents are in the area. Mm-hmm. And so there's a bubble that I hate. Don't just go out there and get your license. Put serious thought behind it. Mm-hmm. There's a statistic, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but most agents don't make it through 2 years because they don't have. You what?
And you did 4.
I did, and I don't plan on stopping. But they don't have those contingencies of, my advice to you out there, if you're going to get your license, have 6 months at least of bills saved and then some, because if you go to the hospital, where's that money coming from? But that's why a lot of agents don't make it, because they don't think you're starting your own business. You're not going to have a paycheck for, some agents are 9 months in and they're like, I don't have a paycheck. What am I doing wrong?
But the problem is like, what can you do? Okay, so you said you woke up and you started in 1 year, you woke up in 11 months. I woke up and it's like, oh gosh, I got a hangover. Like, what was yesterday?
Yeah.
It was a blur.
I was like, what am I doing?
So what, in those 9 months, what made you, after those 11 months, what made you continue? Because at that time, it's like 11 months past, I haven't done crap. So what made you continue to go on?
So I was thankful to have sales under my belt, but it was more of I wasn't happy where I was at.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't about financial success. No. It was just mental.
It was mental, and I felt like I hit a wall in terms of I couldn't move forward, and I felt like if I was going to stay in real estate, I had to make a change. Mm-hmm. Prayed about it. God gave me an answer, and I switched offices. I'm now out of the North Atlanta office with Bill Rawlings. He's my broker. He's fantastic. Mm-hmm. He knows this. I'm not afraid to admit it. Outside of Shane, Bill is a large part of the reason why I'm still in real estate, because when I doubted myself based on the things that happened during those 11 months, he was like, what are you doing? I see your potential. I didn't see my potential yet. So just having that push from him made me continue. And now I'm like, God, I'm glad I stuck it out and kept on going.
That's a good thing. So being a real estate agent now in these troublous times, how many hours do you work a day?
Some days are 15. Some days are 3. It really depends.
3 hour days. Listen, guys.
Today's been a long day.
Yes, and you're still going because people do not understand. You're still working.
Yes,
you're working when you don't even know you're working.
Oh yeah, this never leaves my side.
This don't. And when I get home, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I take my phone and I throw it. I don't put it on the charger, and I wake up, my phone be like red. The line be red. I'll be like, oh shit.
I'm not there yet. If my phone's not with me, I have serious FOMO. Am I missing a phone call for a potential client? And I know that's not the case, but yeah. I'm gonna tell
you something. I've learned that, I still, because I was like, I should get another phone because I want me some time for me. But then I was like, God has blessed me. This stress, this time, and people calling me, that's a blessing.
People pray for that.
I promise you. So why am I getting rid of it? I want it. Mm-hmm. I want it to continuously ring. I want it to continuously be people calling me. And I got one phone. And I know how to press block.
You're not like Kevin Gates?
No, I'm not. Look, I got one phone. If you annoy me, I know how to press block. Yep. And I thank God I don't have people playing on my phone. And I thank God that I still have the same phone line for 20 years ago. So people call me like, oh, such and such gave me your number, send me a text, and that stuff. So I don't plan on changing my phone. And I thought about it. I was like, why do I have to get a separate number from other people? I mean, this is a blessing. And when I go on vacation, I'll let my clients know, hey, I'm on vacation, but I'll guide them to where they need to get help from my team. So, and that's just the thing. But people think, like you're saying, it's oversaturated. So now the tax world is oversaturated because people think it's a hustle.
Yep.
But I still tell people, learn your craft, get your skill set, your target audience, and you can still overcome and you can still do well. The podcast industry is oversaturated. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. I'm doing it for passion. I'm doing it because I like talking and educating. Was I scared to start this? Yes, very so. But, my team motivated me. My team said they'll be behind me. My team done everything. The videographer guy came, set up everything. All I had to do was write the check and show up. And that's grateful. That's the good thing. So that was more of a smooth. And when things are smooth for me, I believe that God is involved. And question. So why are we talking about God involved? You want your understanding with your family. Do your family patronizes your business a lot?
No.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
And people feel like they have to have their family to support them. And that's what I want people to understand, that you can't open your business and automatically think family and friends are going to be there beating your door down to support you. And I think I posted something this morning where it says, businesses, people come, your family and friends come to you and ask for discounts, but they don't go to Neiman Marcus and Bloomingdale's and Gucci and Prada and all of them and ask for a discount. So, and the thing about it is that, I try to get people to, and I want them to understand that business ain't what you think it is. Mm-hmm. It's business. And there's a definition of personal and there's a definition for business. And people must understand that you have to separate the two and you can't focus on that. And my business wasn't honed in and focused on, like, I didn't target like my friends and family. I didn't do that. Like, I think I just started doing my sister taxes. This is the second year. Like, I didn't focus on doing for family because one, they don't like to pay you. That's it. And I tell them I have to eat. And so give me your favorite quote.
Oh, God. I don't know if I have one. I really don't know.
You want to know mine?
What is it?
To whom much is given, much is required.
That is true. Well, back to, so in terms of family, my parents are two of my biggest supporters. I sold their house last year, got them into a new house 5 minutes down the road from me. Yes. Absolutely love them to death. They support the crap out of me. Friends, now, absolutely yes. I have tons of friends that I work with. But going back to building your business, friends, family, doesn't matter who they are, whether they admit it or not, when you first get your license or first start a business, there is a period where they want to make sure you're going to be successful at it before they will send you their business.
But the problem is that I was talking to one of my friends, and he was talking about, well, he applied for this place of business and to be a contractor for them, and the place told him that you need previous experience. But if everybody asks you for previous experience, how would you ever start?
This is true.
So, and I don't understand why family, like, I'd rather, if I have friends and they're starting a business, I'm more of a loyal person. So if I have friends that start businesses, they would all tell you, I'll be the first one to buy and tell you the truth. I'm going to support you. So the thing about this is that, so I don't think that family and friends should figure that out. I think they should let you be the ones to make the mistakes with them because you learn. Because
I think it's not intentional. But I know I've been very, very lucky with all the support, whether that's your business or you share my post on Facebook. Because any interaction where other people...
I love your Instagram, by the way.
Thank you. That took a hot minute for me to get to where it's at.
Okay, I'm sorry to disturb, but I love it.
But support is different in many ways. Like I said, in real estate, getting yourself out there is huge because, for all you know, you could share a post on Facebook and your best friend's mother could see it and be like, oh, I like his style, I'm going to use him. And that right there is support rather than necessarily calling me up yourself if you don't need an agent at the time and saying, hey, come by and list my house, if you see what I mean.
And we're saying that, so, and especially I'm going to tie that into what I'm going to ask without social media. People that sees your pictures and don't like them, but they still watch your stories. I don't understand. You don't like nothing I have, but you're still watching the story. I don't get it. It takes you nothing to put the like button. It takes you nothing to share. And that's what it is though, but I want everybody to understand that that's not where you got to get caught up and focus at. And don't be sad because they don't like your pictures. Don't be sad because they don't. When you do become successful, because I see a lot of people that I know, and I scroll down celebrity pages and, on social media, and I'll see where people, diss your friends and like them. And I was like, they never like my pictures. How you like a stranger pictures that you don't even know?
It's all, again, it goes back to, and I know I've said this a lot tonight, but support has many different meanings. Mm-hmm. Support is liking a post. Support is sharing a post. Support is when you're down saying, hey, listen, you've got this. So
Wow. That is good. So how many my hours you drive a day? Because I love your morning talks. So don't stop that.
Thank you. I've actually had a lot of people on the days where I don't. They're like, where's Car Chronicles with Kyle?
Yeah. Where's your Car Chronicles? Y'all got to catch out Car Chronicles. What's your Instagram?
Kyle Stevens _ realtor.
Okay.
And that's Stevens with a V as in Victor.
Okay. So you do know it's fun, especially when your dog ripped up the bed.
Did you see the video of him hopping on the couch?
Sweetie, I watch your stories. I'm more of a stalker.
God.
But the thing about it is, though, did you spank him?
No.
No, Peter. No.
Well, here's the thing. So Shane, when Bruno does something bad, Bruno's my dog, our dog.
And you know my dog's name Bruno.
I didn't know that.
The big one, the big brown one. His name is Bruno.
We need to get them together for a play date.
Please. And my dog is so lazy.
Good, because Bruno has a hip problem and he can't be buck wild.
Yes. My Rottweiler? No. That's the story. But what you were saying, what Shane does?
So, bringing it back to Bruno tearing up the bed. We have a camera in our bedroom to watch Bruno because we tried to be trustful parents and allow him out and about in the bedroom while we're gone. He tore up a pillow, tore up his bed. So we no longer allow him out. Today actually was the first time in probably 6 months where I left and I allowed him out. Mm-hmm. Didn't tear anything up, but I'm sure if I leave him out tomorrow, he'll tear something up. But Shane doesn't think I discipline him enough. Instead of me saying, like, I'll be like, Bruno, you can't do that. He's like, you can't be like, no. Because then 5 seconds later, I'm like, good boy, you want a treat?
Yeah, good boy. He confused it too.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, he's like, you got to put him in timeout, go make him lay down. And I do, but I definitely am the softer of the two.
Oh, parents. So I hate when y'all get kids because you know who's going to
I don't want kids. Mm-mm.
Different topic, different story, but we're going to get kids.
I like other people's kids.
Oh, I love other people's kids. They're so cute. But I'm actually going through a little emotional stage now. Get back to it because my godson is going on 7 and I was at the house Sunday and I'm deterring off guys to share this with you all. I was hugging him and he's like, okay, hug. And then he was back to go do his own thing. I'm missing that baby that I always hugged and played with all the time. So that's kind of sad. So yeah.
Are you gonna adopt?
No, I'm gonna enjoy him. I just said I'm gonna spend more time with him and focus on him more and find things for us to do. I'm gonna start getting us to practice basketball and that type of stuff. But I want to get back to you and get back to this business. So what are your goals for 5 years?
I'd like to start a team. So I did mention earlier I was on 3 separate teams 2 teams and 1 partnership. 2 teams where there was a team lead and I was under them. 1 partnership where it was 50-50. None of them really worked out. The first 2, I'm such a hands-on learner that I felt like they weren't ready for someone that was as hands-on. I was like, I want to go to every listing appointment. I want to go to every showing you have. I want to learn everything. Mm-hmm. And they were kind of like, whoa. I guess they weren't ready for that. So that didn't necessarily work out. The second was, you know this, there are certain things when it's 50-50. Somebody either makes more and has to pay the other person more. Somebody does more work and feels like there's always an issue when it's 50-50. Mm-hmm. So that didn't work out, but I do want a team. I just don't know in what form or fashion, but I do know now what I don't want in a team. I don't want 50-50. Because in group projects growing up, I was always like, no, team, I got this because I want to make sure it's done properly. I don't want to have to depend on someone else for my success.
You know what? I'd have been dependent. I'd be like, you got it, boy, you got it.
Not anymore as a business owner.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, even more now. Because I tell people this all the time, and it's something I'll share with you. You can't work in the business and own the business at the same time and think to be successful. You have to trust the delegation process. You have to delegate. You have to have the confidence in your team that they will do the right thing and they will get it done. You have to trust that. You have to hone in that, hey, you guys got it. And you have to, because if you try, I would not have grown this much if I'd have been still trying to do everything with my business. I had to let go of some things. But the thing is, it came with getting quality skilled employees that can run your business like it's their own.
Yeah.
Like I have an employee that closed deals, and I have an employee that he does things that when I'm unable to do it, he's able to pick up. He's the one with the suit in the office. So when I can't make the meetings, he can make them for me.
That's
what
I'm.
Back.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't know how I want that structured, because yes, you're depending on them, but you also picked them to allow you to depend on them, if that makes sense.
They showed me. They made themselves undisposable.
So I'm waiting for that. I do want a team. I don't know when.
Get someone fresh out of real estate school.
Well, here's the other thing. Like I mentioned, my broker, Bill, if I run an idea by him, and he will give me the reality check that I need. Mm-hmm. I've talked to him about starting a team, and he said, I don't think you're ready for a team because you don't realize your potential as a solo agent first, and you've got to get to that point. And I'm there with it, because I know last year I closed 10.2. I know my goal this year is 12 to 15. And
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I heard that, huh? 10.2, let's go ahead.
I've got some more work in the business since I'm still so young before I take people and try and be a shepherd and be like, here's what you need to do. Because I'm 3 years in, 24.
I'll tell you this. I got my team, and I grew and I learned with my team. So it's nothing wrong. It's never that you have to be too seasoned. Because if you start too much, 5 years later, they're going to still say you need to learn a little bit more. And sometimes people like that hold you back because they see the potential that you can outgrow them. Sometimes that may be the case. So you have to, guys. Sometimes Oprah said it best. If I'd have listened to everybody when they told me don't come to Chicago, I wouldn't be Oprah.
That's deep.
So you can't. I made mistakes. But I made mistakes on the way with my team, and we made it together, and I learned. So how can you know what's the difference from now to 10 years from now? The same person that you are now are going to be the same person you are from 10 years. Great work ethics, great morals, great integrity, great heart, dedication, great commitment. What difference is it going to change? It's just that it's going to teach you. Because it's like somebody telling someone, oh, you're 25 with your house, you shouldn't have no kids now. Your motherly instincts kicks in once that baby comes out of you. It's like animals. True. Animals have their babies. They don't go to maternity classes. Yeah. They know they're supposed to have. It's just a motherly protective instinct. I seen a duck fell. A duck was walking on Instagram. A duck was walking across the street, and a little chicks was following her. And one of them fell in the drain. And she just cut up, even though she had her other babies, but she cut up for all her babies. That baby. So it's going to kick in. And if you don't want to start with 2, start with 1.
I actually do. My neighbor, he is wanting to get his real estate license, and I'm like, let's
do it.
Get it, and I've already taken him on a couple showings, and I'm like, I will happily, just like you, I love teaching people and showing them things. So I'm like, I will absolutely walk you through the entire process. You are going to make mistakes. We all do, but I'm going to teach you how to pick yourself up when you fall. I've done it tons of times. I still do it.
But so why do you think
all the time?
But the thing about this is that it will kick in. You will learn, and you will do well. And I think that to me, I will look for my team, because sometimes you hit a wall and you hit a ceiling, and you already know that yourself, and you know what you're capable of, and you know the desires and the goals that you want to do. So what if somebody would have told me, hey, you need to go, before you start your podcast, you need to go work on someone else's podcast and sit as a co-host? What if someone would have told me that? Or what if someone would have told me you need to go work at an accounting firm for 10 years before you start your own business? Would I be here today? I came from governmental accounting, and I worked my way and learned throughout the process. And 20 years later, I am servicing over 1,000 clients, but I'm also have 11 employees, and I'm in 2 states.
I think my biggest thing is fear of failure.
But
I think that's what's stopping
you passed me. That. You passed that when you started to feed yourself on your own with no guaranteed paycheck. You got to realize that. You don't get a guaranteed paycheck.
I know, but me failing myself is different than me failing someone else.
But when you're in this business, the only failure will come is giving up.
Yeah.
And a failure will come from them not giving it their all. It doesn't. You got to understand that every employee that came here and worked with me didn't stay. All of them didn't work out. And you know the reason why? Because I don't fire people. People fire themselves. There's a difference.
I'm going to work on getting a team. I don't know what the timeline's like, but...
Hey, only thing you have to do is start.
I want one very badly.
You have to just start. That's all you have to do is just start. And once you start, everything else gonna fall into place. So I wouldn't dare let anyone tell me, hey, I'm not gonna ask you permission. I'm gonna now do it. And I'm gonna now prove to myself and you and everyone else that feels that I'm not ready, that I'm ready. And make your money and make your team. Because sometimes people see competition, and just because they smile in your face doesn't mean that everybody that smiles in your face is happy for you. Why tell you not? Like, hey, but his response should have been like, well, hey, here's some tips and things to look out for. Here's some things that you need to do. Let me take you on by your hand, and I'll show you some of the way. If my team come to me and tell me they want to start their own business and grow, I don't have a problem with that because I welcome it. I've had employees leave because they say I can do, Donald can do it, they can do it. But then they call me back and be like, Donald, oh, wow. Like, give me some tips and advice. And I do. I share the tips. I share the advice. But I let them know it's not easy.
Yeah. Now, I don't want you or the listeners to think that by me saying my broker said he didn't think I was ready, I'm not talking about leaving and starting my own brokerage.
No, you're adding value.
Team in
the brokerage.
With my brokerage, and he has absolutely given me advice, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying anything negative.
No, we don't feel, this is the thing here. This is the uncut truth, and we're going to be real with it. And I'm not, and I think about this is that I hope that I'm motivating other viewers out there to go head on and be like, when someone else tell them they can't, find a way that you can. If you're not going to commit suicide, or you're not jumping off a bridge, or you're not you're trying to chance something at work, everybody don't see your vision and your dream. Everybody don't see what you can do. And people don't have that vision. You sell houses. People buy houses, but everybody that the house that your customer bought today, the customer tomorrow won't buy that same house. Everybody don't fall in love with the same thing.
That brings up a good statistic in real estate. Side note, most buyers can't see what's in front of their face, like past it. So if you walk into a house and the wall's painted yellow and you hate yellow, most buyers hate that house because the wall is painted yellow, and they can't realize that wall can get repainted.
And that's the thing, but that's your job and the other agents to teach them that. But see, the thing about it is I look at the structure and the design versus I don't want to say the aesthetics or the little simple stuff. So I don't look at that. So that's not me. So I look at the potential. Like here, I was like, oh, I want to do the podcast. I open up a room inside the office that I'm in. When I got this office, this wasn't a vision for me, but I saw I had extra space. Cleaned this room out and made it a podcast. Now look at me now. And I have viewers, I have followers, and I have people that's liking, sharing. I hope that some of them come to you and want to be like, oh, I met this awesome young guy on 25% podcast. Don't forget, guys, click like, click share, subscribe, share with a friend, tell a friend, and leave a comment. So I want you to not give up. I think you should, and I'm not saying you're giving up, but if that's your goal, do it. If you fail or you feel this failure, the only failure is not trying.
True.
And I tell people, no dumb questions. The only dumb questions I know of is the ones that ain't answered, ain't asked. That's it. It ain't asked. So, like give me 3 tips that you want to give to up and coming agents.
I'm going to think of 3 new tips, stuff we haven't talked about yet tonight.
Give him some time. He's coming.
Social media is massive. Massive, massive, massive. We are in a digital age. Everybody is on their phone. You have to, and this is even older agents that, we have agents that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 30s that aren't on Instagram, aren't on Facebook. LinkedIn is important, but I would say Facebook and Instagram are more important. You've got to be posting, but it's got to be relatable content. Like my stories, I walk people through my day. I post videos about my dog tearing up things. Social media is massive. I've gotten a couple clients that way. So that's one. 2 other things that we haven't talked about.
I want the tips from you. I want to learn some things. And see, the problem is, guys, this I tell you, this the uncut truth, because I ain't even tell them I was going to ask this. So that's what it is.
I know. We got to play some elevator music while I'm thinking.
No. How about a vehicle? Should they get a used vehicle or should they get the luxury vehicle to show off?
So I am personally of the mindset where the vehicle does help. I have a new car now. I used to a 2022 Kia K5.
Come on, baby, come through. Scroll on past.
So absolutely, you have to an extent, dress and act the part that you want. The clientele you want to attract, you have to dress and act the part.
And that's so hard for me in accounting, but we'll get back to that in a few seconds. And what else?
So tip number 2, I'm glad you brought this up. My first car was a 2010 Ford Fusion SE. I still have it.
I remember that look like car.
It's actually wrapped gray, the same color as my new car. So they're little babies. I still have it.
Big sister, little sister.
Yep, because Bruno is not allowed in my new car. But I couldn't afford a new car when I first started in real estate. So I guess my advice is, yes, what you're wearing, what you drive, it is absolutely important, but don't go broke trying to portray something in real estate that you're not yet at least. Like, don't go out and put $10,000 down on a brand new Range Rover if you have $12,000 in your bank account. Mm-hmm. Get to a point where you can afford those luxury items, but until then, fake it until you become it.
Fake it till you make it.
My favorite quote, fake it until you become it.
Fake it till you become it. So that's the thing. I be seeing some of those real estate on Instagram. They have 200,000 followers. And I be like, oh, yeah, I do. So, guys, social media does work. Social media does turn into money. Kyle, I am amazed that you came. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Did you have fun today?
I did. This was a lot of fun.
So tell people how they can contact you again.
Instagram, it's Kyle Stevens _realtor. I could put my phone number out there, but Instagram is the best route.
I will tag him in the post. I will share when the show drops because it is pre-recorded, but it's unscripted. Click like, click share, and follow. Guys, I thank you so much. It's been an amazing meeting with Kyle. We shared a little personal. We got down, and the thing about it wasn't just all about business of how you grow. It's just like the experiences and how you hang in there. And the thing also as well is it's just like, hey, it's day-to-day business. It's business as usual. And Kyle has dropped some gems. He's 24. He sold $10 million. And just think about it. If you do get 3% of that, that's $300 and some $1,000.
Before taxes.
Before taxes. Pay your taxes. That's the third thing.
And find a good accountant.
They already know that. I'm on billboards, baby. Yes, in Forbes. But guys, thank you. We've had fun. I appreciate it. Look forward. I got to give a shout out to my videographer Shaleo. He's always hanging in here with me and coming, and getting the records in. Kyle, I had an amazing time with you. Fun. Thank you. And you gave me some advice, but get that team. That's you.
I'm gonna work on it.
You know why? Because them 15-hour days can turn into 10-hour days, and you can still make the money. And guys, click like, click share, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, and y'all enjoy y'all day.
Happy Wednesday if this airs on a Wednesday.
Nah, I think it's gonna come out on a Wednesday. Hope. Yes.
If not, it is now.
Okay, it better be Wednesday, baby.